If you're planning to claim Social Security at 62, this video could save you from making a $500,000 mistake. We're going to discuss the 5 types of retirees who should never claim early. Now, pay close attention to number 3. Almost everyone gets the math wrong on that one. The first type of retiree who should never claim at 62 is someone who is still working and earning over $23,400. And here's why. If you claim Social Security before your full retirement age and you're still earning income, the Social Security Administration is going to withhold a portion of your benefits. It's called the earnings test. For every $2 you earn above $23,400 per year in 2025, Social Security withholds $1 of your benefit. So if you're making $62,160 or more, your entire Social Security benefit gets withheld. Now, let me show you what this looks like in real life. David's 64. He filed for Social upon retiring from his corporate job at age 62 and started receiving $2,400 per month. He also immediately started consulting work on the side and makes $80,000 a year doing that. 6 months after this all began, David was very confused when his Social Security checks just stopped coming. Not only did he exceed the earnings limit, but he's locked himself into a permanently reduced Social Security benefit that he's not even able to receive right now. David should have waited to claim Social until either he stops earning over that $62,160 figure or he reaches full retirement age, whichever came first. If David had waited until full retirement age to claim, over 20 years, that's $240,000 in additional lifetime benefits, not including his COLA increases. Now, if you waited until 70, it would be $432,000 more in lifetime benefits. So if you're still working past 62 and earning over $23,400, don't claim Social Security early. Wait until you either stop working or you hit full retirement age. Now that brings us to our second type of retiree who should not claim early. It's the married couple with either a big age or earnings gap. If you are married, your claiming decision isn't just about you. It's about the spouse you're going to leave behind. When one spouse dies, their surviving spouse gets to keep the higher of the 2 Social Security benefits. The lower benefit just disappears completely. That means if the higher earner claims early and locks in that reduced benefit, their surviving spouse is now stuck with that reduced benefit for the rest of their life. And statistically speaking, that surviving spouse is going to be the wife who lives another 6 years after her husband passes away. Let me show you what this actually costs. Let's take Tom. He's 62 and 8 years older than his wife, Linda. He was the primary earner for 30 years while Linda worked part-time. Tom's currently deciding when to claim Social Security. If he claims at 62, his benefit is $2,800 a month. If he waits until 70, his benefit is $4,900 a month. Now, they don't need the income, but Tom decides he wants to enjoy the money now, so he decides to claim at 62. Let's fast forward 15 years. Tom unexpectedly passes away at age 77. Linda was receiving her own benefit of $1,200 a month at the time, but now that Tom's gone, she switches over to his survivor benefit. Now, because Tom claimed at 62, his benefit was permanently reduced to $2,800 a month. Now, that's what Linda gets for the next 20 years, $2,800 per month. Now, let's rewind and see what happens if Tom waits until age 70. His benefit would be $4,900 a month, and when he passes at age 77, Linda now switches over to his survivor benefit, but instead of it being $2,800 a month, it's now $4,900 per month for the rest of her life. That's a $2,100 per month difference. Over 20 years, that's over $500,000 of additional income for Linda. Tom claimed early because he was just worried about dying before he broke even. But the person who paid the price wasn't Tom. It was Linda. This brings us to retiree type number 3. Remember, I told you to pay attention to the math on this one. If longevity runs in your family, claiming at 62 is a bet you're going to regret. Here's the argument you always hear for claiming early. The break-even age is around age 80. If you don't live that long, you're better off claiming at age 62. But the break-even analysis assumes the only thing that matters is total dollars received. It ignores the real risk you're trying to protect against, running out of money. Take Carol. Carol's 62 and in excellent health. Her mom is currently alive at age 94. Her grandmother lived to 98. If Carol lives until age 95, which seems to be common in her family, she would receive $370,000 more in Social Security benefits if she were to claim at 70 rather than 62. But here's what makes it even worse. Social Security has annual cost of living adjustments, COLAs, to protect against inflation. Now, these COLAs are applied as a percentage of your current benefit. So if Carol claims at 62 and gets $2,800 a month, and there's a 3% COLA, her benefit increases by $84. If she waits until 70 and gets $4,900 a month instead, that same 3% COLA increases her benefit by $147 instead. That's a $63 a month difference, and that compounds every single year. Let's fast forward 20 years. With average 3% COLAs, she's getting $3,800 less per month because she claimed early. Social Security is longevity insurance. It's the only risk-free, inflation-adjusted income that most retirees have. And the longer you live, the more valuable it becomes. So if you have strong longevity indicators, parents or grandparents who lived into their 90s, excellent health, no major risk factors, claiming at 62 is a mistake. Now, let's move on to retiree type number 4. Now, this is the retiree who has a pension that covers the majority of their living expenses from age 62 to 70. Your Social Security benefit would be 77% higher at age 70 than at age 62. We mentioned this. That is risk-free growth that you can't find anywhere else. This is also a golden opportunity for tax planning, specifically mini Roth conversions. Now, my definition of mini Roth conversions and the way that we do it in my practice is we take enough from pre-tax accounts to cover the remaining living expenses that any type of fixed income source is not currently covering, such as a pension in this case. Now, this ensures you're not taking on unnecessary increased tax expense in your early retirement years, but also giving yourself an opportunity for lower RMDs down the road at age 75. Now, this brings us to our 5th type of retiree who should not claim early. This is the retiree with pre-tax account balances that exceed $2 million. Now, let me just show you an example so you can understand this a little easier. Mike is 63. He has $2.5 million in his IRA. If he claims Social Security now, he adds $36,000 a year of taxable income. Now, that $36,000 per year pushes him into the 22% tax bracket, which means he can't do any large Roth conversions without pushing himself into any higher brackets. 22% tax bracket is usually where we want to stay. So Mike does small Roth conversions of $30,000 per year to help out his tax burden at age 75 when RMDs begin. Now, let's rewind and see what happens if Mike delays Social Security until 70 instead. From 63 to 70, Mike has no Social Security income. He's living off his taxable accounts and his IRA, very strategically. During those 7 years, he converts $70,000 per year from his traditional IRA to a Roth IRA, staying in that 22% tax bracket. Over 7 years, that's $490,000 moved from pre-tax to Roth. Tax-free growth for the rest of his life, no RMDs, and lower taxes for his heirs. At 70, Mike turns on Social Security at $5,000 a month. Now, he has 5 more years before RMDs start at age 75, and during those years, between 70 and 74, he can still do those mini Roth conversions. But the main point here is that he's already moved 20% of his pre-tax money into his Roth IRA. When RMDs kick in at 75, instead of being based on $2.5 million IRA balance, they're based on a $2 million balance because he converted $500K to his Roth already. By claiming early and just doing small conversions, Mike would pay 24% on large RMDs for the rest of his life. Over 20 years, that's easily $150,000 more in unnecessary taxes. By delaying Social to 70 and performing more aggressive conversions in his 60s, Mike pays 12 to 22% on his conversions, reduces his RMDs permanently, and saves anywhere between $80,000 and $100,000 or more in lifetime taxes. Plus, he's locked in a Social Security benefit that's 77% higher. Here's the bottom line. If you have a large IRA, claiming Social Security early doesn't just cost you Social Security dollars. It costs you tax planning flexibility. It forces you into higher tax brackets during your prime Roth conversion years. It increases your RMDs for the rest of your life. It raises your Medicare premiums, and it leaves tens of thousands, if not sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table. So if you have $2 million or more in pre-tax retirement accounts, delaying Social Security to 70 is the single most powerful tax move you can make. Let's recap the 5 types of retirees who should never claim Social Security at 62. First, you're still working and making at least $23,000. The second, you're married with a big age or earnings gap. The third, you have strong longevity indicators. The fourth, you have a pension or bridge income covering your expenses. And the fifth, you have a large IRA balance and you want to manage RMDs and taxes. Now, if you recognize yourself in even one of these 5 types, claiming at 62 is a mistake. Let me briefly explain the system we use to help optimize your Social Security claiming strategy and how it all ties into your overall retirement plan. So first, we specialize in working with people who are within 10 years of retirement or in their first decade of retirement, the exact window when these decisions matter most. We help you figure out the optimal Social Security claiming strategy for your specific situation, factoring your taxes, your longevity, your spouse, of course, your portfolio, and your goals. We don't use rules of thumb though. We don't use outdated withdrawal strategies. We use a system-based approach called the modern guardrail that dynamically adjusts your spending capacity based on your portfolio, inflation, and real market environments. So you're never left guessing. We build you a plan that's designed to reduce sequence of returns risk, maximize your after-tax income, and give you the confidence to spend what you've saved without the fear of running out. If that sounds like the kind of planning you need, here's what you do. Click the link in the description below. You'll answer a few quick questions about your situation, and within 48 hours, I'll send you a personalized video showing you exactly how we do retirement planning for our clients. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.